Hello everybody, my name is Calvin with Montavilla Sewing Centers, and today we're going to be unboxing the brand new Solaris Vision. In this video, we're going to go over all of the stuff that comes in the box with the machine, and then go over all the new features that came out with this new upgrade to the Solaris. Now, as per usual, this nice big new machine comes in a nice big box. Fortunately, this one big box contains 4 smaller boxes on the inside that actually can get on this table with relative ease. We've got the sewing machine box, this little insert which has a hoop inside of it that comes on the right hand side of the box. This guy, which contains most of the accessories, and I have the embroidery unit box back here, wouldn't exactly fit on the table and still have to be able to see me. So we'll go ahead and start with the accessories box, go to the embroidery unit, and finish up with the machine. So right up top here, we've got these 2 little tabs to cut. This guy up, get rid of the cardboard. Right on top here, this box is going to contain the majority of the accessories that come with the machine. Here we have our quick reference guide and all of the paperwork that comes with the machine. A little brochure on love of sewing, koala cabinets, a whole bunch of Target and Snowman stickers that come with the machine that mainly are used in the camera for all sorts of fun stuff that I will be going through a little bit of later in the video. And then some other paperwork going over the accessories and the product safety guide. The scanning hoop, which actually allows you to place anything on the mat, comes with these little green magnets to stick down typically paper, so you can scan in images directly into the embroidery software and digitize them into stitches. An adjustable knee lift, a bag for the styluses, Baby Lock's belt-driven dual feed system, spool caps, your additional spool holders that goes on the top of the machine. Over here we have our buttonhole foot, straight stitch needle plate, and the power cord. And lastly, the very full and very packed Baby Lock accessories kit. It's worth noting that I will go ahead and go through all of these accessories in detail in just a little bit in the accessories section marked down in the chapters below. And this guy comes packaged in the side of the box like this. It has this little piece of paper on the top that says, hey, there's something down the side of this thing. Don't be careful not to throw this side panel away that protects the machine. As inside of it lies a hoop. So if I go ahead and just cut this guy out here. We can pull out our 10 5/8 by 10 5/8 embroidery hoop. Next up, we've got the embroidery unit box. As we open up this guy, now right on top we are presented with the nice, very large 10 5/8 by 16 inch hoop. We have the 5x7 hoop and the 4x4 hoop. Underneath this nice bit of styrofoam lives the embroidery unit for this machine, all nicely wrapped in plastic. Also comes with just a little bit of stabilizer and some embroidery thread to get you started. It's time to open up the Solaris Vision. And it comes with 2 pieces of styrofoam sandwiched on top, so you can pick up one half first. And then the other half, which has a couple of accessories and doodads in it. And now this is a hefty machine, so I'm taking this box down to the floor. Straight out of the box, Solaris Vision. Now the Solaris Vision comes with a whole host of accessories in the box. It actually comes with 3 new ones and an optional 10 by 10 magnetic frame hoop that they just released with this machine. The 3 new accessories are the N+ foot, the brand new stylus pen, and the multi-function foot control. So with this many accessories, I'd like to go ahead and break it out into sections for you just to make it a little bit easier. We will do feet, tools, hoops, and additional accessories. So for the feet, going from left to right here, we have our sewing couching foot. then our embroidery couching foot, then the corresponding sewing and embroidery couching foot arms that guide the yarn from the top of the machine down over the side and into the couching foot. We have a nice straight stitch foot, the W embroidery foot, which stands for wiper, which has this little wiper on it that actually pulls the thread up and out of the project to keep from having jump stitches. The O foot, which is an open-toed spring-free motion foot. 1/4 inch foot with a guide that has the nice little guide that will guide a 1/4 inch seam for piecing quilts together. The brand new N plus foot, this is the new version of the decorative stitch foot, which has a bracket on the back to actually support it against the presser bar of the machine. That way there is no more wobble as you're doing decorative stitches. It still has this nice groove on the back for all those extra stitches to glide through, and the actual foot itself is a very, very slippery material so that your fabric has no problem gliding through the machine. This is our G overcasting foot for over edge stitching. Quilting, stitching the ditch foot. Zipper foot for putting on all your zippers. The M foot, which is designed for holding on buttons as you're sewing them onto a project. Free motion echo foot so that you can see what you're doing much easier while stabilizing a nice large area of the fabric as you're doing free motion. Baby Lock's belt driven dual feed foot, which has 2 front attached feet to choose from. This is the standard one here, and then there is an open-toed one for decorative stitches. Then we have our lovely buttonhole foot right here with a stabilizing plate to stabilize your fabric as you make a buttonhole. And right in the middle here we have our straight stitch needle plate. Here we have all the tools that come with the machine. We have a nice seam ripper, a chalk pencil, a personal favorite of mine, the Baby Lock screwdriver. This has 3 different modes, one with a deep socket here, one that has the screwdriver locked at 90 degrees, and one that locks it at 180 degrees. Personally, this is one of my favorite screwdrivers that comes with a machine out of all the brands. Then we have 2 more screwdrivers here, one small, one large, a lint brush to keep things nice and clean, an eyelet hole punch, a pair of scissors, and some thread net, 2 twin needles, and a variety pack. For the embroidery hoops that come with the machine from smallest to largest, we have the 4 inch by 4 inch hoop right here, the 5 by 7 inch hoop, the 10 5/8 by 10 5/8 inch hoop, and the colossal 10 5/8 by 16 inch embroidery hoop. This thing is massive. And then we have the scanning hoop. Now this hoop is really neat because it's got these little magnets right here that come with it. The machine has a camera on it that you can scan things in, so if I want to scan in Bob here, I can put this hoop into the machine, scan it, and digitize my little friend that I drew. And to cover the rest of the accessories here, we've got the power cord, an adjustable knee lift. This allows you, by pressing in and twisting, to adjust the position of the knee lift to actually get it a little bit closer to your knee, if that is what you prefer. This is a feed dog cover plate, which will go over your feed dogs just in case you want a little more protection from your fabric outside of just dropping them. It also comes with an extra bobbin cover. This is an adapter that comes with the machine because in case you don't want to use the belt-driven dual feed foot, you'll actually need this adapter to use their low shank Baby Lock walking feet. We have the high tension bobbin case, which now dons a nice purple dot in the center. We have a full extra pack of bobbins. And then this is the additional thread tower that this arm telescopes up. And this is what goes on top of the machine in the cover to add 2 more spool pins for your embroidering. To keep all these accessories in, it does come with an accessory box that's got specific slots to place everything that you see on the table here. And I can't forget to mention the brand new stylus that comes with the machine. It comes like this, and if I unscrew it, I reveal the new tip, which has this little plastic piece on it, which is meant to be there, so don't try to remove it. But this means that as you tap on the screen, it doesn't matter what angle you tap at, that piece is going to keep everything nice and flat so that the screen knows exactly where that pen is supposed to be. This gives us really fine point control for things like drawing or touching and dragging. Really anything on the screen, we now have a very fine point to control it with. And just to show you just how neatly everything packs up here, here's all the accessories consolidated into the accessory tray. This is our thread stand, multifunction foot control, needle bar, dual feed system, and yarn couching guides. Now let's go ahead and take a look at all the amazing features that this machine has to offer. Now if you're a returning Solaris user and you just want to know what the new stuff is, timestamps down below to the new features section. I'm going to go ahead and cover a lot of the stuff that this thing can do that if you are comfortable with it, you might already know. But I do want to make sure that those who have not seen Solaris before really do get a good understanding of just how capable this machine is and how easy to use it is. Baby Lock is known for taking a very complex concept or idea and making it very easy to use. They use a lot of very simple icons, and once you start to learn the basics of how their operating system works, it really is a pinch to use everything on this machine. So let's start off with the basics. This machine has all the convenience features you could ask for in a modern day sewing machine. It is a top of the line machine, which means it does have everything it can have to make your sewing experience as streamlined as possible, so the machine can take care of just about all of the grunt work. If you look at this panel right here, we've got all of our most basic convenience features. So on the far right here, we have an automated needle threader. This is a fully automatic needle threader that uses a motor to thread the needle. We have a full speed control slider here to adjust the maximum sewing speed of the machine. We have a fully automatic presser foot, which again means that the presser foot is run by a motor, which gives you some really cool features like pivot, where the machine will automatically lift the foot on its own when you stop sewing with the needle down. We have an automatic thread cutter to cut the threads underneath the needle plate, a needle up down button to raise or lower the needle, and we have a locking stitch button which will lock your stitch in place to give you another option for locking the beginning and end of your stitch as opposed to forward and reverse. And then we have our regular reverse button and a stop-start button to both start and stop the machine. Now a lot of those features are more or less common on a lot of the higher end sewing machines nowadays, but let's go ahead and dive into some of the ones that make this one so unique. So the first big feature I'd like to talk about is kind of 3-in-1. It uses the camera, the projector, and these little target stickers. On screen here I've gone ahead and selected a decorative stitch. That's all these little stars, a little preview of what it looks like. Now if I come over here and I turn on our end point setting, notice a little bit more light came over from the left hand side, that's our projector turning on. So what this is going to do is it's going to take our little target sticker, I'll place it on the fabric, and that will tell the machine where to end the stitch. So now I've got my fabric set up here. You'll notice if I bring this little target sticker along, you've got now this blue line that follows it, and that's using the camera to look at the sticker and then projecting a line on the target. So I'm going to place this off to the side, and that's going to put a line perpendicular to the sewing foot. So now if I run this stitch, it's going to use that line to end the stitch, and it's actually going to recalculate the spacing of those decorative stitches to make sure that you get a full pattern all the way to the end. And we've got a lovely decorative stitch that stopped exactly where we wanted it. And still on the topic of the projector, if I tap this little icon right here, we're going to get options for a laser guide. You have two lines, a main and a sub. You can control the position, the angle, even activate a grid if you want to. So you have a laser guide that you can use for 1/4 inch piecing, line things up at a 45-degree angle. There's almost endless possibilities with what you can do with them, and they are a very valuable tool that come with the machine. You can even project a preview of the stitches so you can see what they're going to look like on the fabric before you even stitch it out. The Solaris Vision has all sorts of sewing features, much more than I could go into in this video, and I just wanted to highlight a couple of the really cool things that I like about it. But where this machine really shines is its embroidery. Now for the part that I know at least some of you have been waiting for, here's a list of all the brand new features you're going to get with the Solaris Vision. This is a third iteration or third upgrade to the Solaris line of machines. First off, you have 6 new embroidery fill stitches. You have an updated projector. We have no more loading pinwheel of doom. The new 10-inch by 10-inch magnetic frame hoop, which has been much requested and is finally here. It does use some pretty strong magnets because it takes quite a bit of force to hold this much fabric in place and stable as you're embroidering, so they do include with it a little tool to help get the magnets off. This frame is going to come with the machine for those who purchase it with a bundle shortly after the machine was released. Outside of that, it is still available for sale on its own. We have the new multi-function foot control. This comes with an additional pedal and the option for a heel kick, all of which are programmable with multiple different functions. We've got that lovely new stylus I told you about earlier that's got the nice fine point on the end of it. The new N+ foot, which has this new little bracket on it right here, which actually goes around the presser foot bar, which stabilizes the foot so no more rocking left and right as you're doing decorative stitches. And it also comes with a very, very slippery coating on it to help that fabric glide through just as easily. We have 10 new edge-to-edge quilting designs in the machine, as well as an entirely new system for edge-to-edge quilting. We now also have the option for no-sew, so you can actually break up an embroidery design and take bits and pieces out that you don't want to sew based on the color to create your own unique designs. And for the last couple things, we have new long stitch designs, which are designs that incorporate, as you might have guessed, very long stitches up to a few inches in length that create some really unique patterns and designs. And lastly, we have couching fonts now, so you can create yarn embellished fonts on the machine. In the main screen here, we have Sewing, Embroidery, and IQ Designer. IQ Designer is one of the features that make it stand out. It's a surprisingly powerful digitizing software built into the machine. In this software, we can do all sorts of fun things. I'll show you a couple of the most basic features so you can get an idea of how it works. Well, we can do things like add in shapes, move them around. So I'll place this one here. I'll add another one. Move it here. So we've got a little bit of something interesting here. I can add in all sorts of things. I can either color them, or in this case, I'd like to fill them with a fill stitch. And we can change the color of that stitch. We can do all sorts of fun little things to make our own custom designs. Now within this software, we have the ability to scan an image. So I'm going to show you that now. So we are going ahead and telling it to scan Bob from earlier in the video. And just like that, Bob has been brought right into the machine. Right, I can click next and get him embroidered out. A really neat feature. Obviously my artistic skill does not do it justice, but there's a lot of possibility for someone who is much more of an artist than I am. Another thing you can do is take an image off of the internet, print it out, and scan it in. That's actually a really common way that people use this feature. Now with this brand new 10 by 10 magnetic frame hoop, we have the ability to do much larger quilting in the hoop, and you can get away with much larger blocks. Now they do include this tool because with these new magnets, they are more powerful than the 5x7 hoop because they have to be strong enough to hold this large of an area. But with this tool, it's really not too bad to take them off. So all we simply have to do is place our fabric inside the hoop, go from the inside out, we've hooped our fabric. Now that I've got Bob here in the embroidery mode, I can tap this little icon and turn on the projector. So now with the projector on, I can place Bob exactly where I want him. Now let's say, for example, that I want Bob to be holding this little balloon right here that I've drawn on the canvas. A lot of other machines, depending on the one you have, that could be a very difficult task. But with the Solaris Vision, it's no problem. If I turn on our projector, I can already see exactly where Bob is going to stitch out. So, and I want his hand to be holding the balloon. So if I slide this right over, whoop, there we go. And that is exactly where it's going to stitch. So when I do the stitch out, he's holding the balloon. And there's Bob holding his balloon. For reference off the original design, courtesy of yours truly, it really is amazing how accurate that digitizer can really scan things in and get them stitched out. Now, just for a little bit more of a sophisticated example, this is a piece of paper that was printed out with a design. It was scanned and then played around with an IQ Designer to turn it into this embroidery right here. Now, those 6 new fill stitches live right in IQ Designer. Right at the bottom, we've got 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48. But now we also have the ability to import our own custom fill stitches. So you can import these straight into the machine from a digitizing software such as Palette 11 and create your own custom fills. It will hold up to 12, and if you go past that limit, it will actually ask you which one you would like to get rid of if you add in one more. Very nice feature and a little bit of a surprise that I did not expect from Baby Lock. We now have this updated projector, which no longer gives us that little loading pinwheel every single time you want to move something. So as I move my selector here to show different parts of the hoop, it will actually update live with where everything is moving to. And if I want to move my design, same thing. I don't have to wonder where it's going. I can just tap and place it. That new edge-to-edge quilting system is going to live right here in the quilting embroidery section. Over here we have section number 4. If I tap on that, that's going to give us all 10 of our new embroidery edge-to-edge quilting designs that we can embroider in the hoop. So now if I tap on one of these, I'm just going to give a brief preview of it at the top, and I'll click Set. Now in here it's going to ask us for our quilt dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and assume a regular queen size quilt is 60 inches by 80 inches. And I'll make sure we've got our 10 inch by 10 inch magnetic frame hoop selected and click Next. So this little diagram shows us exactly what we're going to be doing, the orientation of the design and where they're located. So we're going to sew this out just like we would read the words on a page, top to bottom, left to right. And that's shown by this little symbol down here. Then it's going to pull us straight into our memory. And I can click on this first one here. That's going to tell, so all of them, you can choose to do individual ones if you want. That's what all of these are. But the first one here will sort of set them all up in a sequence and run them all one after the other. So if I click Set, so in our hoop it will project the first corner where we will then align it with our quilt. We have both the vertical side and the horizontal side to line up. And once everything's lined up, you press Start. Our new couching fonts live right down here in category C, number 2. We have all the letters of the alphabet. This is going to enable you to embellish words or just letters onto your projects with yarn. Overall, the Solaris Vision is a great upgrade to one of the best sewing and embroidery machines on the market. Its combination of high-end features paired with user-friendliness and smooth operation is what makes it stand out from other top-of-the-line machines. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful day.